the guy on the bottom right, Erik Jones. Where should we even start, right? He came into Richmond 26 points behind after Las Vegas. I said he had to win. He gets in the media, says, no, I don't. I can make it up in points. I was wrong. He was right. He ran well, gained enough points, but then after the race, we find out from NASCAR he had a problem in post-race inspection. Here's what the director, Jay Fabian, had to say.
Yeah, so the 20 standard procedure post-race in the playoffs that we run every car through the OSS, and then we do a post-race inspection on first, second, and then generally a random. The 20 car failed the OSS on their run through on the standard post-race inspection. We've set the standard early in the year and what we expect, and teams have done a good job reacting to that. I think obviously as the pressure mounts and the years go, the season goes on, it doesn't surprise me to see them pushing a little farther and trying to get a little more out of their stuff. And like I say, sometimes you just cross that line a little bit, and that's all you need to fail.
So I appreciate Jay Fabian, director of the Cup Series, coming out and explain a couple things in there I think we should clean up. So he references the OSS. That's basically just the scanning station. It measures the body, the wheel, the location, the toe, the camera, all kinds of stuff. The simple fact is they failed it. What the fans need to know is before the race, there's one set of tolerances. After, they open up. They know stuff is going to shift. Obviously, this has shifted too much. The other footnote, all 16 playoff guys went through it. I think that's worth the fans to hear, right? The other, he wasn't just picked, right? We didn't just pick on one of the Gibbs cars. 16 went through, 15 passed, 1 failed. DJ, the simple fact is 42 points. Yeah. What it cost Erik Jones.
Yeah, he had a great night, did everything, got stage points in both the first 2 stages, ran really, really well. He didn't have the takeoff speed that his teammates had, but man, once he got 15, 20 laps on his tires, that car was just steady all night. I saw him make some really good passes through the night and did everything that you want to do. Here's the unfortunate side. So we're talking about Erik Jones. Everything goes, he's disqualified. He gets last place position. And he did nothing wrong as a driver, but that's what is out there. You work well as a team, you win as a team, and you fail as a team when these things happen. And, I think as a driver, AJ, I always appreciated my crew and my crew chief pushing the limit as much as we possibly could, but it still hurts so much when it's your name that's out there whenever things don't go right. But this is the way NASCAR set it up this year. If you fail, then you're going to the back, and unfortunately it's cost Erik Jones must-win situation now.
Unfortunately, I know what that feels like. A couple times this year.
Bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, just saying. Bring it up. Just a couple times this year, I know what that feels like. And you're right. Because as a driver, you just feel like, okay, I felt like I did everything, and it has nothing to do with me. But your name gets dragged through the papers, social media to a certain degree, like, oh, that's why he's running. He's cheating. Yeah. Well, no, but you win and lose as a race team. Just the same difference as Erik Jones battling for the win at Bristol. Matt DiBenedetto gets around him. He gets into the wall. He made the mistake. So you have to win and lose as a race team. As long as everybody in that organization has each other's backs, then you have to accept what happens. The way you do that is you spin it positive going to the Roval. Points don't matter now. Yeah. Now he can't race his way in on points. So there's one way he's going to make it to the next round, and that's go win the race. That's all they have to focus on. They don't have to worry about where William Byron's running, where Eric Almirola's running, where Alex Bowman's running. They have to go out there, focus on themselves, and take whether it's strategy, trying to stay up front, do something different if you don't have the fastest car. And we've seen over the last couple of years, Erik Jones has become a better road course driver. Is he going to be the favorite going to the Roval? Definitely not. But he's got a fast race car with a great organization, and he's good enough that if they get up front, he can go win that race.
Yeah, selfishly, when I was listening to this, going back to the hotel the other night, it was kind of uncovering on the NASCAR radio channel on Sirius. And so I was hearing everything. And selfishly, I was like, oh, man, because looking at that, the points down through there with, Kurt Busch was going to be the furthest one out, I think, at 14 points there. But you had so many. You were going to have 8 drivers that were going to be battling for these positions, and that was just going to be so fun for y'all to cover and us to watch throughout that race at the Roval. It's still going to be very intriguing because there's, we're just talking about one driver that it takes out, but it opens him up to, hey, whatever possibilities are there, every road racing skill that you have.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for you to call when your restart's third with 2 to go. That's what it's going to be fun to call.
Yeah, I feel bad for the front row because if I was Erik Jones, you wouldn't make turn 1. You know what really bothers me, or not doesn't bother me, it makes me feel bad for Erik Jones, isn't as much the penalty as, remember, it was a mechanical issue in Las Vegas too. So gets into the playoffs and then has 2 issues. As the crew chief, I'm just gutted, right? That I haven't given my driver the opportunity to show the world his best. I always thought my job as a crew chief was to deliver a product to my race car driver. The sport's about the drivers. It should be those stars. My job is to give those stars a chance to perform. Maybe Erik Jones can have one of the biggest walk-offs we've ever seen. If he can win at the Roval right here after 2 disappointing weeks, it would be big. So a bad night for Erik Jones. On the flip side, okay, I was wrong. I had the 6 of Ryan Newman not having a chance in the playoffs. And you talk about holding something back. I'm not sure what Roush Fenway held back, but DJ, they showed up in practice in Vegas, not quite as good in the race as I thought they were going to be. 10th, solid. Now we come to Richmond. I expect him to run outside the top 10. He runs inside the top 10 most of the night, scores some stage points, which has been the Achilles heel of this team. And now it's plus 14. Can Ryan Newman in the 6th car move through at the Roval?
Absolutely, they can. They have the driver to get it done, first and foremost. But the biggest thing is the speed that you're talking about. I've been giving Ryan Newman all of this credit, and I think he deserved that in the regular season because he wheeled his way through that with his driving talents and the ability he has in the latter stages of a race to get every position that he possibly can. I'll give Roush Fenway some credit here now. The last 2 weeks, they have brought him some race cars that he could compete with, literally. I mean, he was at one point trying to drive into 2nd spot. And I think it was, I don't remember if it was Truex or Kyle Busch that he was trying to pass for that 2nd spot. But he was right there trying to get that. He ran in the top 5 most of the night. Very impressive. And I think now that there's nobody better at knowing the situation and knowing what they have to do. And I believe Ryan Newman finds his way into that round of 12.
Safe to say he was trying to pass a Gibbs car because they ran up front all night long. So the question really now remains, when I looked at the playoffs, I kind of looked at my organization. Gibbs, you're going to assume they're down to 3 if you take Erik Jones out. Team Penske, the 2 has been pretty good. The 22 has been a little off. I'm not sure about the 12. But Ryan Newman has outrun all of the Hendrick cars pretty consistently. I think Chase Elliott perhaps is the outlier. He, I think, can outrun the 6. But when I look at this right here, can William Byron or Alex Bowman go and outrun Ryan Newman at the Roval? I've yet to see anything that I would have to say is a guaranteed yes.
The thing I will say about it is the Roval is unlike anything else that we go to. There's no race. You can't say it's like Sonoma. You can't say it's like Watkins Glen. It is a street course that has banking in it once you get up on 1 and 2 and through 3 and 4. So the Roval, you can't compare it. You can't look back. You can't even look back at last year because the package is so different. And now the chicane's different as well. So it's Ryan Newman. He's solid at everything he does. Road course racing's probably not his specialty, although we've seen when his cars are right, he can run up front in those too. When it comes to William Byron, Alex Bowman, the road course stuff they've been pretty quick at this year.
Fast. Byron's been really good.
So maybe, but I'm with you. I'm going to keep saying, well, no, for sure. They have faster cars. They're going to beat them. Like Ryan Newman keeps going out there. And to your point, DJ, now credit goes to Roush Fenway because they've actually given him good enough cars that he can take having to wheel his way to 15th. Now he drives inside the top 10, top 5. So I'm not betting against him.
You know what Ryan Newman's going to do is force the other ones to beat him. I don't see Ryan Newman going out there and making mistakes, right? It might not be all sunshine, and it might be in the top 5, but it's going to be back end of the top 10, front end of the top 20. He's going to force those other drivers to find those 14 points.